So I mentioned in a previous video that grounding is super important for RF designs. But why is it important? And what are some tips and tricks we can do with vias and grounding in our design? Let's answer some of that in today's Whiteboard Wednesday. So what is a ground plane? Well, a ground plane is typically a thin piece of copper that is connected to the ground point on your design, typically a terminal in your power supply. In RF design, you want this to be as large as possible, so a ground plane would typically be an entire layer of your design. Being an entire layer of your design makes it a whole lot easier for you to connect the various parts of your design to ground using vias.
Okay, this all sounds pretty easy, but what's the benefit?
I'm glad you asked. There are plenty of benefits to having a properly designed ground plane. Gone are the days of 56K modems, and now we're rocking megahertz or even gigahertz speeds in our signal processing. A cleaner path to ground reduces electrical noise, which is especially important for RF circuitry, because any incoming or outgoing signals need to be as pure as possible, which helps facilitate cleaner signals for the receiver and the transmitter. Analog and digital signals will sometimes produce crosstalk between one another, which is bad. Ways that we can prevent this from happening is either via fencing, which is surrounding the analog circuitry or your digital circuitry with vias connected to ground, or you can have an analog ground plane and a digital ground plane, and they're connected with a thin wire. This helps prevent crosstalk between those two types of circuits. Grounding can also help prevent electromagnetic interference, both internal or external, from affecting different parts of your board. A way that you can help implement that is through stitching, which is placing vias around either the entirety of your board or just around sensitive areas of your board. As you can see, it's very important to have a well-designed ground plane. If there's anything that you take away from these RF videos, let it be this one about grounding. It's that important. You'll thank me later when you tear out less of your hair, because while you're troubleshooting an issue, you know it's not a grounding issue. That's it for this Whiteboard Wednesday. Thank you for watching and stay grounded.